Hi, welcome to today's Vinyasa flow. For today's practice, you might want a block or a thick, sturdy book. A shoebox works just fine. And we're gonna get started in a child's pose. So however it's comfortable for you, knees as wide or as narrow as feels good. Walking your fingertips forward, allow your forehead to rest on the mat. Just give yourself a few rounds of breath here first. Noticing that natural rhythm of your breathing, not changing anything. And then keeping your spine long here, walk your fingertips towards the right. Left hand stacks on top of right, creating a little side stretch along the left side of the body. Breathing here. Next inhale, bring yourself back to center, and then exhale to the other side, this time right hand on top of left. Breathe here. Inhale back to center, and then pressing your elbows into the mat, bring your hands to a prayer shape, bringing your hands towards the nape of the neck, a little shark fin here. Walk your elbows forward just a bit. You might feel this in that upper part of your back, kind of under your armpit area. Just give yourself a full round of breath here. When that's complete, fingertips back to the mat, shift your weight forward. Coming to a Sphinx pose for just a moment. Elbows press into the mat. Toes untucked, taking your feet wide, about as wide as the mat's distance. Eyes can be soft or closed. Give yourself about 3 rounds of breath right here. Keeping slight engagement in the shoulders as shoulder blades squeeze together. Next breath, adding a quad stretch. Bend your right knee, right heel towards the glute. Right hand reaches behind you, encouraging that heel towards your glute, just as far as feels good for you. Now in some bodies, it feels good to stay in Sphinx for this shape. In some bodies, it feels better to lower down, decreasing that back bend. So just whatever feels best for you. One more breath here. Next breath, release. Right leg extends long. Other side, left heel pulls towards that glute. Left hand to that back foot. Again, you might add some pressure here, pulling that heel towards the glute. Nothing crazy. Just breathing where your edge is. Next breath, release your foot back to the mat. Coming to a seated hero's pose. So taking probably that block on its medium or its low setting between your heels. Find a seated position here. Now if this still doesn't feel great on your knees, just take a seated shape. Inhale, bring your hands together, and then interlacing your fingertips, flip your palms up towards the sky. Arms reach towards the sky. First, just finding some length here as you press your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And on an inhale, we'll add a cat-cow variation. Heart pulls forward, hands fall back. Exhale, rounding forward. Inhale, heart pulls forward, hands fall back. Exhale, rounding forward. Give yourself about 2 more rounds here. Following your pace of breath, giving yourself extra time anywhere where it feels good. And pausing with your hands back on the lap when that feels complete for you. Shifting your weight forward, make your way to tabletop. You can remove that block out from under your seat. Starting here, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Start with some hip circles, so bringing your hips back towards your heels, and then up towards the wrist. making the circle as big or as little as feels good in your body. Going one direction first and then reversing here. Really, you're welcome to add in any movement that feels good as you warm up your body. We already got some cat-cow variations, but if you're missing those here, add them in. And then come to stillness. Pressing into both of your hands equally. Inhale, sweep right leg off the mat. Toes are flexed here, pressing your heel up towards the wall, towards the ceiling. And then left arm reaches forward and sweeps back to find that foot. Tiger pose. Belly is soft towards the mat. You might be able to find your foot with that left hand. You might just stay reaching. Give yourself a moment here, opening that shoulder, a little quad stretch. Next breath back to the mat, release. Other side, first left knee lifts, flexing those toes here, press into both hands. Then lifting your right hand forward, sweep it back for tiger pose on the other side. Again, maybe you just stay reaching, maybe your right hand stays on the mat. If you have that foot, kicking your foot into the hand resists foot, belly drops towards the mat. One more breath. Next breath, release, hand to the mat, knee to the mat. Walk your hand forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes, lift your hips for down dog. Pedaling out your dog. It can feel good to drop your heels to one side and then the other. I've started to add this into my own practice, particularly just when my hips feel a little tight, and it's kind of fun. But whatever feels good for you. Pausing in stillness, heels reaching towards the mat. Inhale, sweep right leg up to the sky. Exhale, scorpion dog. Bend your right knee, open your hip towards the right. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, right foot outside of your hands, lizard pose. Then lower the back knee, untuck your toes. Taking that block under your left hand, right arm reaches behind you. Now you might pause right here, really finding length in that arm, or bend your back heel, fingertips find the toes, or anywhere in between. Focusing here on creating space with the chest. So if grabbing that foot makes you feel a little claustrophobic or like you have to hunch down, just releasing it. Next breath, wherever you are, release, toes back to the mat, hand to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, active back leg here, press your heel away from you, and then step right back to down dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky. Exhale, scorpion dog, left knee bends, hip opens towards the left. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, lizard on the other side. Lowering the back knee in this variation. Block comes under the right hand, left arm reaches behind you. Focusing on that openness across the chest. You're welcome to stay here or adding the quad stretch. Hand finds that foot. Again, if it feels like you have to crouch down to make this shape happen, just release it, keeping that openness here. Focusing on what works for your body. Full breath. And release, hand back to the mat, foot to the mat. Tuck your back toes to lift your back knee, strong active leg, and then step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale for a half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, interlacing your fingertips except for your pointer fingers. Exhale, side stretch to the right, hips reach to the left, fingertips to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, other side. We'll do another round. Inhale, pass through center. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale through center. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale to center. Exhale, cactus arms, heart lifts, elbows down. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, bring your hands behind low back. Interlace your fingers and press your knuckles towards the floor. Really lifting your heart up here. Maybe you look up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands might stay at low back if that feels best in your shoulders, even releasing the grip. Or arms can extend overhead as far as is available in your shoulders. Breathe here. Next breath, hands come back to low back, release. Bend your knees, sweep your fingertips towards the floor, and then lift your arms, extend your legs up towards the sky. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, flowing with that breath. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reaching tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up, pinky spiral in. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank on toes or knees. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat, elbows graze the ribs, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Exhale, lower left cheek to the mat. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, lower right cheek to the mat. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back. Maybe downward facing dog, or you can shift to a tabletop or a child's pose if that feels best for you. Whatever your body's looking for. Perhaps challenging yourself in this practice today in these shapes that we revisit so often, like down dog and Urdhva Hastasana. Being mindful in those shapes, what feels good in my body. It's so easy to just go through the motions, but just bringing some awareness to those, I'd say, more common poses we do fairly often. From down dog, inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale for a half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, arms extending. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, draping that upper body. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, hands back by hips. Inhale, lift for locust. Squeeze your back body. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale for locust, back body squeezes. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, locust, everything lifts. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. 5 rounds of breath, maybe staying in down dog or taking a child's pose, tabletop, whatever feels good in your body. Using your next inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale to forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach up tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, chair, hips down and back, arms stay extended. And then draw your hands to heart center. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, toes or knees. Inhale here. Exhale for chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for up dog, locust, or cobra. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, warrior one, foot between your hands, back foot in and out at 45 degrees. Inhale, lift your fingertips here for just a moment. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to your plank position. Inhale and plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky. Exhale, warrior one, left foot between the hands, back foot in and out at 45 degrees. Inhale, lift your fingertips. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank position, toes or knees. Inhale and plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for up dog, locust, or cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, chair, hips sink down as fingertips lift. Full breath here, weight is in your heels. Next breath, press into your heels, straighten your legs, hands to heart center. Eyes can be soft or closed here. Give yourself 3 rounds of breath. Hands might stay by your heart, or you can open them down by your hips. Lengthening your inhales and exhales in this strong and stable pose. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale for a connecting vinyasa, or you can meet right back in down dog if that feels better for you. From down dog, inhale, sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, lift your fingertips for crescent. Breathing here, back heel presses away from you, keeping that back leg active. Then hands come behind low back. Interlacing your fingertips, knuckles press towards the floor. Now, if you'd like a bit of a challenge, you are welcome to keep this grip as we shift to warrior 3, or you can always bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, lift into warrior 3, pressing into that right leg. Back leg extends long behind you, or maybe it's a kickstand. Maybe you have that grip here, pressing your knuckles towards your back heel. Crown of the head reaches forward. Next breath, release, bend into your front knee, releasing that grip as fingertips lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank position. Inhale and plank. Exhale for a connecting vinyasa, or meet back in downward facing dog. Whatever works best for your body. Inhale, sweep left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Lift your fingertips for crescent. Find that base here first, really active in your back leg. Hands come behind low back. Maybe opposite thumb on top this time, so it'll feel like a little bit of a funky grip. Knuckles press towards the floor. You're welcome to keep this grip or bring hands to heart center. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, press into that standing leg, lifting to your version of warrior 3. Back toes are flexed wherever they are. Crown of the head reaches forward. Breathe here. Inhale, release, bend into your front knee, fingertips lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale for a connecting vinyasa or meet back in down dog. Taking whatever version feels good for you. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step just your left foot back. For warrior two, so back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Arms at shoulder height. Find your base here. You might have heel to arch alignment or heel to heel. Gaze is soft over those front fingertips. Inhale, right palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior, right arm overhead. Inhale, extended side angle, left arm comes overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, right palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, left arm overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, pivot to crescent. Back foot comes to the ball of that back foot. Back heel is lifted. Exhale, hands to the mat. Left hand stays planted. Right arm opens to the sky. Revolved low lunge. Give yourself a moment here. Next breath, hand back to the mat. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. This time, step just your right foot back. Warrior two on the other side. Back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Finding that base here, can maybe heel to arch alignment, maybe heel to heel if your hips are a little tight. Gaze is soft over those fingertips. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, right arm comes overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, right arm overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, pivot to crescent, strong back leg. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right hand stays planted. Left arm opens to the sky. Full breath here. Next breath, left hand back to the mat. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hips down and back for chair. Drawing your hands to heart center, using your thumbs here, pull your heart towards the thumbs. Inhale. Exhale. Shifting your weight to your left foot. Right leg extends long behind you for crescent. Then lower to that back knee, Anjaneyasana. Back knee lowered. Fingertips lift. Left hand grabs your right wrist. Side stretch towards the left. So stretching towards that front bent knee. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tuck the back toes. Lift your back knee, return to crescent. Hands come to heart center. Shift your weight forward, chair pose once more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stepping your left leg back this time, extend that leg long, fingertips lift, then lower down for Anjaneyasana, lowered knee. Back toes can be tucked or untucked. Right hand grabs left wrist, side stretch towards the right. Creating space along the left side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tuck the back toes, active back leg lifting into crescent. Hands to heart center, shift forward for chair. Breathe in, breathe out. Now keeping that chair shape, but you're gonna lift your heels off the mat, hovering your heels above the mat. Start to lower your hips down for toe stands. Now you might stop right here. Maybe your hips come all the way towards your heels. Wherever you are, inhale, open your arms for cactus, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, hands come back to heart center. We'll do two more. Inhale, open and squeeze. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale, back to center. Oop, I lost it. Keeping your heels lifted, lift back to that chair shape. Heels lower to the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands come back to heart center. 3 rounds of breath here. Next, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale for half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat, elbows graze the ribs. Untuck the toes, and then bending both your heels or both your knees here, heels towards the glutes. Hands come to grab the outer edges of the feet. Noticing here if your knees want to splay wide, keeping your knees tight behind you, pointing towards the back of the mat. Inhale, lift for bow. Feet kick into the hands, hands kick into the feet. Hands kick into the feet. You're finding resistance here. Hips press into the mat. Full breath. Next breath, release, lowering back down. Extend your legs long, creating a little pillow here with the backs of your hands. Give yourself a full round of breath. Now check in with your body. I'll guide us through another round of that bow pose, and if that feels good, join us. If it doesn't, stay right here. If you're joining for bow, heels back towards your glutes. Hands grabbing the outer edges of the feet. Inhale, feet kick into the hands. Hips press into the mat. Really staying active here, full breath. When that's complete, release. Extending legs long, create that little pillow. Full breath here in stillness. Then bring your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your back toes, activating your back legs so your heels press away from you, knees lift off the mat. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale to side plank. Heels drop towards the right. Left arm opens to the sky. Breathing right here. Now you are welcome to stay right here, or need a little more space. Left leg lifts off the mat. Bring that toe behind you. Left arm reaches overhead, pressing your hips up towards the sky. So you're on the blade edge of the right foot, ball of the left foot, pressing into that right hand for wild thing. Next breath, come back to center plank. Inhale here. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Full breath. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, heels drop to the left, right arm opens to the sky. Again, you are welcome to stay right here, or right foot lifts back behind you, pressing your hips up towards the sky. Right arm reaches towards the front of the room. Pressing into that left foot, left hand, ball of the right foot for balance. Next breath, return back to our plank position. Inhale here. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, lift your heels high off the mat. Exhale to a child's pose. Hips back towards your heels. Breathe here. Of course, it might feel good to bring your hands back by your heels, giving the shoulders a little break here. About 3 rounds of breath. As you're ready, begin to lift your upper body out of that shape, and then swiping your heels out from under your seat, we'll come to a wide-legged seated fold. So taking your legs as wide as feels good, toes pressing up towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen your spine, fingertips lift. Exhale, bring right hand inside of that right leg, left arm comes overhead. Noticing here that left shoulder might want to dip down, bringing your hand closer to your toes, but keep your heart pulling through. Long stretch in that left side body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side, right arm reaching towards those toes, but keeping your heart pulling through. Keeping that side body nice and long. Breathe here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hinge forward, and then allow your hands to fall forward. Walking your fingertips away from you to increase sensation. Walking them back towards you to decrease. This shape is called pancake, but do not be concerned if you look nothing like a pancake. I don't either. Just finding your edge. Breathe here. Next inhale, walk your hands back in towards your body. Taking your knees up to the sky, soles of the feet press into the mat. You might want to bring your block along with you. You will want to bring your block along with you. Lower down to a reclined position. Giving yourself some time here to settle in. Knees press up towards the sky. Soles of the feet press into the mat. And then lifting your hips just high enough. Slide that block under your sacrum. Height that feels supportive. Finding that spot here where you're balancing on the block is part of your base. It's not causing any pinching or pain. If this feels good, you are more than welcome to stay right here. If you'd like to take supported waterfall, knees hug into your chest, and then extend your legs up towards the sky. You might roll out your ankles here. You can point and flex the toes. Any movement that feels good in your body. Practicing any synchronized swimming moves that you may be missing. Just giving yourself a little time with some reversal of gravity here. I'll guide us here for about 3 more rounds of breath. But of course, if your body is ready to come out before I prompt us to do so, listening to that. If your legs are still extended, next inhale, pull the knees into the chest, then lower the feet back to the mat. Hips lift just high enough to slide that block out from under your seat. Then hug your knees into your chest. Taking happy baby, hands can find the outer edges of the feet. You can always grab onto the heels or along the shins, whatever allows you to access the shape. Again, any movement or stillness you might feel called to. And if this feels a little too intense, you can always bring the soles of the feet together, almost like you're in a floating butterfly. Just playing around here. Give yourself a few rounds of breath. When that's complete, hugging the knees into your chest. Right leg stays hugged in, left leg extends long. Pulling your right knee towards your right shoulder. Then guide your right knee over to the left side of the body. Arms come out to a T or a cactus shape. Giving yourself a few rounds of breath in this reclined twist. Adjusting your legs however you need to allow you to find a little more softness in the pose. Wait for your next inhale. Use that to bring yourself back to center. Both knees hug into the chest for a moment. And then right leg extends long. Left knee hugs towards that left shoulder. And then guide your left knee to the right side of your body. Arm can come out to a T or a cactus shape. Gaze drifts over that left shoulder. Breathe here. Next inhale, coming back to center. Both knees hug into the chest. Any other shapes that would feel good, you are welcome to take them here. Or wrapping your arms around your shins, forehead up towards your knees, tight little yogi hug. And as you're ready, extend into Shavasana. Legs extend long, arms hang heavy. Allow your body to take up space here. Allow yourself to be heavy here. Reminding ourselves that this pose is just as important as any other shape we took today. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you are more than welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, starting with gentle movement, you might deepen your inhales and exhales. Can wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe even building to a nice good morning. Stretch fingertips overhead, toes opposite direction. And when you're ready, guide yourself to a fetal position on either side. Pausing for a moment there. Then press up to a comfortable, easy seat. Eyes can stay soft or closed. Feeling into some gratitude for showing up today, honoring your body with movement and with rest. We'll close with a collective breath. Can exhale to prepare. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands back to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a lovely day.